Cup of tea, like Steve.
Go on then.
Like that, don't you? What's that you're giving us, like?
It's the note.
15-minute cities? Agenda 2030? President Zelensky gets Times Magazine Man of the Year. What's all that about, like? It's coming up. Yeah. Right, welcome back to the programme. I'm Steve.
I'm Bootsy. And hey, what a show I've got in store for you this week, guys.
I'm his co-host.
Russell Gland.
Aye. Joe Rogan.
So as you can see from the picture, we've got a bit of talk about this week regarding the 15-minute cities. Have you seen this in the news, guys?
15-minute city?
What's a 15-minute city, I hear you ask? So, a 15-minute city is a residential urban concept in which most daily necessities can be accomplished by either walking or cycling from residents' homes. The concept is a way to ensure that urban residents can fulfill 6 essential functions within a 15-minute walk or bike from their dwellings.
15-minute walk? What, so you never have to go 15 minutes away from your house? That sounds good. Tell me more.
That's a 15-minute walk though, isn't it? Like,
that sounds
three
great.
minutes in the car.
So there's you never have to, you never have to, that's alright that, like.
So that's living, working, commerce, healthcare, education and entertainment.
Aye, so everything's just 15 minutes away from you, so that's really convenient, that. Surely there's no bad sides to that, Steve.
Well, let's find out, guys.
Hey, it's coming up.
So they've been called climate lockdowns.
Oh no.
So the whole goal is to limit your carbon footprint, and they're going to start giving you fines for going outside of your 15-minute zone.
Oh, so you get fined now and all. Well, that becomes a whole new thing, doesn't it? I thought, 15 minutes away from your house, you working there, you get to work there. If you need the doctor, you can get there dead quick. If you need to go into the shops, you can get there dead quick. If you need anything, you can get there dead quick. That's really good. But you can't actually leave. Well, that's fucked.
Imagine living.
How much is a fine, like?
I'll get with.
It's coming up as well.
Well, imagine working within 50 minutes of where you live. It'd be depressing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, man.
Like, see you work from your bedroom window.
It'd be fucking minging. Do you know what? Do you know when we had this COVID lockdown and you could go 5 kilometres from your house? You couldn't walk 5 kilometres in 15 minutes. This is even smaller than that, man. Where can you get in 15 minutes? Fucking nowhere.
Cool, I'm back. I think that's the point.
They reckon they're calling it District. It's like the Hunger Game, man. I've just been watching the Hunger Game. They've got District 13.
I thought when I first seen this, this is just another one of them mad conspiracies, but...
I says to Steve through the week, you heard about these 15-minute cities, Steve?
I know. What's he going on about now? But we've done a bit of research there, and it's already gained traction in Paris, and it's currently being proposed in Oxfordshire in Great Britain, that if someone goes out of their zone, they'll be fined £70, like the Hunger Game. That's what it says on the news.
Aye, like the Hunger Game.
Like the Hunger Game.
Fucking hell. For £70 every time you go out your zone.
It's crackers, isn't it, man?
It'll be like living in the Twilight Zone. £70 just for leaving. It's 100 times in the year, isn't it?
Aye, £70 if you go outside of it 100 times. So that means basically you've got like a credit, or like, you've got 100 lives. So you can get, if your grandma lives, or whoever lives like more than 50 minutes away, you can go to outside your zone 100 times a year. If you're going out again, you're fucked. Or if you want to go on a trip to like London, or if you want to go anywhere. If your gym's a bit further than 15 minutes,
then you're fucked.
I know.
But will there be no such thing as gyms then? Because there's going to be no such thing as a muscly guy walking down the street, is there?
I know, aye.
Because they want everyone to be trannies, man. They have said it. You tell us not to say it, but I say it, I'm going to say it anyway.
It's going to get more Kanye'd.
Yeah.
So with the carbon credit system, if you want to go on holiday, your carbon credit score, so this is like something separate, but it kind of ties in. So that carbon credit system we've discussed before, it's kind of all ties into the same thing, and I'll explain how in a second. So with the carbon credit system, If you want to go on holiday, your carbon credit score would have to be a certain level, otherwise you can't go. It's all about control and limiting your freedoms. It started with tracking the carbon footprint of companies. So, I know at our company, they're like, there's a carbon footprint kind of goal we've got to do.
Is that aye?
Aye, it's all about your recycling and all that, and like the way you're recycling and all that stuff.
Recycle what, like?
Paper, bottles, everything. Like, you've got a designated bin for like everything. But now...
Yeah, man, when you recycle, not all goes to the same pit. They don't even deal out with it.
Honestly.
Why are you? People's got about 10 different bins, and you see the blokes that come running, hide all in the same thing. And there was a big thing on the news about it. They're not even dealing out with it, man.
Honestly.
It's all the con, man. It's all pushing this agenda.
But so they went from just tracking the carbon footprint of companies, but now they want to track the carbon footprint of the individual.
Aye.
With the World Economic Forum, they're working on a carbon tracker for individuals. They want to control what you eat, how you move, and who you interact with, and just about every other part of your life.
Like I've controlling me.
I've got a video to put in here regarding that. Take it away, Techno.
We're developing, through technology, an ability for consumers to measure their own carbon footprint. What does that mean? That's where are they traveling? How are they traveling? What are they eating? What are they consuming on the platform? So, individual carbon footprint tracker. Stay tuned. We don't have it operational yet, but this is something that we're working on.
You're kidding. You're kidding.
I know, crackers that, innit?
Yeah.
So John Kerry at the World Economic Forum even openly said...
John Kerry?
John Kerry.
Is he Biden's mate, isn't he?
Aye.
Is it actually?
Aye. At a World Economic Forum event openly said, and this is an actual quote, "We are going to use the COVID template to fight climate change."
A template, that's all it was. Wasn't it? It's just a template. Oh yeah. This is a case study, guys.
But I remember when we're in lockdown, you would see them pictures after a couple of months on the internet where it was like, whatever city before lockdown and the city now, and like, there was no smog and it was like less air pollution and all that because no one was driving anywhere and that. So they've obviously thought, well, we can use this to tackle climate change.
It's all made up though.
Even though that the Earth's supposed to get hotter, it's like the life cycle of the planet. I watched a documentary about it, and the Earth's natural cycle is that it's supposed to get hotter. So our minor little carbon emissions aren't really impacting it at all.
Look it up. In the 1970s, there was something called global cooling, and they were saying everything was gonna freeze. We're all fucked. And now they're saying global warming. Everything's gonna melt, we're all fucked.
Just about control.
Make your mind up, man, guys.
Controlling the population. So we've also got a clip here from Fox News talking about the climate lockdowns. Take it away, Techno.
Well, we're learning that a World Health Organization staffer has written a report saying that a climate lockdown could be called for. Just like a COVID lockdown, a climate lockdown. Mark Morano is an author who has written a lot about climate change. He founded Climate Depot. He joins us tonight. Mark, thanks so much for coming on. A climate lockdown. Now, I would laugh this off the table, except we all just lived through the last 18 months, so we know that anything is possible. What does this mean exactly?
Well, in my book, Green Fraud, I detail 2 chapters on this, Tucker. This is the climate activists were, first of all, jealous when the COVID lockdowns happened. They were beside themselves saying, how is this happening? Everyone from Greta Thunberg to John Kerry, UN officials. And then they started saying, we need to follow this. If we can shut down for a virus, we can shut down for climate. And that's what we're seeing. There's even academics in Australia proposing adding climate change to death certificates. And Bill Gates has said the death toll will be greater. So they're following every step of the way. And it's not just, a professor here or someone in academia. We have a major UK report coming out. We have an international agency report that came out calling for essentially the same type of lockdowns. Everything from restrictions on your thermostat to restrictions of moving. You can only fly in a climate emergency when it's, quote, morally justifiable. Kind of like a lockdown, you have to justify going to the store for essential services. They're going after freedom of movement. They're going after private car ownership. They're going after everything it means to be a free person and turning it over to the administrative state.
Hey, can you believe that?
My life.
Jesus.
On the Bairns' life, they're going to do that.
So as I was saying, this all links into what they call Agenda 2030. Now, Agenda 2030, the Sustainable Development Goals or Global Goals, are a collection of 17 interlinked global goals designed to be a shared blueprint for peace and prosperity for people and the planet, now and into the future. The SDGs were set up in 2015 by the United Nations General Assembly and are intended to be achieved by 2030.
That gives a what? What is it, 2023 now? Is it?
2022 in night,
Is
2023.
Is that what year it is?
I think
So we've got 7 years before the
years.
world's fucked, basically, like.
Be fucking 40 odd by then.
What am I, 33, 7 years time, 40. What do you reckon?
Yeah, we'll be fucked then anyway. We'll not be doing much. We'll probably want to stay within 15 minutes of a house. But anyway, he has some photos from, this is from the UK government website.
In every district will have its own nonce. Because it'll be allowed by then.
Aye.
2030.
So I'm putting these screenshots
You might
on.
think I'm mad.
These photos, yeah, are from the UK government website. I'll put them on the screen for you now, guys. So the progressive target in 2030 is 8 new clothing items per person per year.
8, had they? Like, we're going through these. 8 clothing items.
Yeah.
So a pair of trainers counts as 2.
That's on the government website.
So you get a pair of trainers and a couple of tops per year. This is on the government website, you know. He's not just talking to his
Yeah,
group here.
that's the progressive target. The ambitious target is 3 new clothing items per person per year.
So you can get a pair. You can't even get a pair of trainers and a pair of gloves.
This is the goal is to reduce.
Hey, this is on the Bairns Life and all, mate.
A 75% reduction in supply chain waste. Another one is the progressive target in 2030 is 190 vehicles per 1,000 people. The ambitious target is 0 private vehicles.
So how does people get to work, like?
Where you live in 50 minutes within your work.
So I'm a plumber, right? In my 15-minute radius, I've got to walk to work, have I, without my tools.
That's a good point, that.
So I can't be a fucking plumber, basically, because there's going to be another 100 plumbers, surely. And there's only a certain amount of hoses. There's only a certain amount of leaks we can make.
Aye, that's mad, that, isn't it, to be fair?
So what we're going to do,
Maybe
like?
that there'll be one plumber for every 15-minute zone and he's going around repairing and maintaining your zone.
Be pretty cushy, to be fair, like. Yeah, I'm all for it.
So that is to do a 50-year lifetime for body of vehicles. So basically, of course, that'll last 50 years. Another one.
50 years? Yeah, man, I worked in Nissan for a brief spell, man. Them wouldn't last 50 years. You should see that clip of the people on the line.
Another one, yeah, this is a good one. Progressive target in 2030, 16 kilograms of meat per person per year. 16 kilograms is not a lot at all.
To be fair,
Per
there's some good
person,
lads
yeah.
in Nissan, like, I feel bad now. I had a great time in there, actually.
Could you survive on 16 kilograms of chicken breast per year?
16 gram. What is
16
that?
kilogram.
What, put that into perspective. How many chicken breast is that?
It's less than a 20 plate at the gym.
Of chicken breasts?
Aye, it's probably, about a month.
What you eat
Less.
a month? I eat chicken most day.
I eat chicken nearly every day, aye. It's my,
Had they?
it's my main source of protein.
Had they? So what? I missed that one. You allowed what?
16 kilograms of meat per person
Meat,
per year.
not just chicken.
Just meat in general, aye.
Meat? But what else you meant to eat though? Insects!
Insects, aye. But that, listen,
Fucking beans and shrubs.
that's the progressive target. Listen to the ambitious target. 0 kilograms of meat consumption. And again, that's on the UK, gov.uk website.
Who's putting this forward, this Rishi Sunak, like?
I think so, aye.
Is that his plan, is it?
0 kilogram dairy consumption.
Must be one of them vegans.
0 kilogram dairy, so dairy will be gone.
What about cereal night on a Wednesday? What about cereal night? What am I meant to drink me fucking cereal
Better
with?
put some water on that damn shit.
Then that.
And last one,
Fucking me.
progress. Oh no, I've already said that one.
Life's shite, isn't it?
Right,
It's affecting me, Alice, by the way.
That
And now I'm laughing about it. But it actually, I'm thinking about it all the time, and it's actually getting to me, this. It's making us
And
sad.
you know, with this whole carbon footprint credit card and all that, like, it's actually already started. Canada have actually already introduced the carbon credit card.
Who's that Justin Trudeau? Is it I? The
So
carbon credit card?
I don't know. So obviously, I don't think it's like replaced currency and all that, but people are being rewarded for reducing the carbon footprint. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. That's how they're starting it. That's how they'll usher the new era in, the new world order, guys. So with the Canada introducing the carbon credit card, you've got the global meat thing where the farms are burning down all over the place. Bill Gates buying all the land, the fake meat popping up in supermarkets all over.
Fake meat, man. You heard how like it.
Paris and now potentially Oxfordshire, and also you were saying Melbourne introducing the 15-minute cities.
Melbourne's going to be a 20-minute city.
Is this really the world you want to live in, guys?
No, it's not.
I put that to you.
No, it's not, Steve. Oh, I thought you were asking me something.
Where do I get off?
Now what it is, what the world does need, right? Because weren't you saying, there's all these people, right, the elites and all that, who are setting all these new targets and all that. Surely there's people who are just as powerful, just as elite as these divvies who are dead against it. Where's the people standing up to it, like? Because all I see at the minute is like so Joe Rogan talking about it, Russell Brand talking about it. When's someone going to do something about it? Seriously? Because you know what? What is I thinking, right? Do you know, like this Agenda 2030, by that point, right, I didn't want to be living in a world like that, me. So what is the actual point? Like, do you want to bring kids into the world who can't even get, zero amount of clothes? So what the fuck they're meant to wear when they're born, like? So we're just all going to run about naked because, well, what's going on there? But if we have fucked the planet, then it's done. Maybe it's time just to let everyone just die out then. Because what's the point in a world where you can't do anything?
You know how it is? I said this a few episodes ago, maybe about 10 episodes ago or something. I was like, do you reckon we'll have already reached the pinnacle?
Do you know what?
Of
You know what? The Apprentice said this word for word to me. I'm sure you're fucking watching my program because he doesn't know about it, you know. I haven't told him about it. So like, I'm sure you fucking watching.
I sometimes think that the generation we grew up in, like being born in the 80s, growing up through the 90s into the 2000s, like we had massive advances in technology, but we were there when we didn't have any of it. We had like big tellies and all that, but now the big old ones, the tube tellies. And then we got mobiles and we got iPhones and internet, and so we've seen that. We've lived through that massive like leap in technology, and we had like, I reckon the 2000s, you know, might have been like the peak of humanity, and now we're here, like what we just spoke about. Now it's like, all right, now technology's going too far to the point where they're making fucking robots and putting chips in your head, and running about 15-minute lockdowns and carbon footprints and all this shit. That we've lived through the best era in the history of probably humanity, and now it's gonna go on some other mad tangent, and this is the golden era. Well, at least we enjoyed it while it lasted, eh, guys?
I think our parents had the time, didn't they? Like they didn't have to really go through too many like they missed all the world wars. There was the Cold War like with Russia, but that never kicked off properly. Then what did they have? The mining strikes.
I got a bit tough up north like with the when they shut the coal mines down and that.
Have you ever now any time to watch Billy Elliot? Great programme.
When they closed the mines.
But but them had it.
Margaret Thatcher's not well liked in our areas, is she?
No.
It's a swear word saying Margaret Thatcher up in the northeast.
Yeah, man. I know. People were having parties and that when
it was street parties when she died, Fuck aye.
Nissan had a moment of silence, and no one was silent.
For Margaret Thatcher, did they?
Nah. But so my ma's pushing up to 60 now, and about 7 years time, 67, you could say that's a good candidate. Maybe them had the best go. We're gonna see the fucking utter shit.
Plus, like kind of not related, but kind of like when our parents were first at the age of buying properties, the houses were like $8,000 and like 13 grand and that, weren't they?
Now what it is, right?
Then when we got round to buying houses, it was like harder, wasn't it? And even now it's even more, but even worse.
People say, oh, the houses were $8,000 and all that, but
it was relative to what they were.
But it wasn't, you know.
Was it not?
No, because I always thought that, it was only $8,000, but they also got paid
like 20 grand a year.
Not even half what we get paid now. But the apprentice was saying the other day, he was saying like the average house was something like 4 times your yearly wage or something like that. And now it's something ridiculous like 50 times your average wage. So how are you ever meant to pay that fucking thing off in anyway? But when our parents, it wasn't relative at all. It's just the human race is just getting fucking shite. And someone's not doing something great, are they?
But it's the thing, innit? It's just like the rich elites get richer. The people profited from COVID, and there'll be people profiting from our list. Carry on, and it's just
when's enough, eh?
It's just your everyday working class guy that gets the brunt every time.
Because these electric companies and gas companies, they're still making record profits, man.
I know. Yeah, it's shocking them electricity prices, man.
But how? Why is the government not saying no?
Yeah, man.
Why though? I don't get it. Why is the government not putting a stop on it? Right, so you're making billions and billions every year, more than what you ever have, but nobody can afford to put the fucking electric on, and there's people dying. But what? Why is the government not saying no?
Yeah, man, it's sad.
Because all they've done is put the price up.
Now it is.
There's no crisis, man.
I was talking to my ma. Shout out, mum, if you're watching. And she's at the point where she can only afford to put her heating on 2 hours a day, man. So she's had to like find a method. She's bought like this electric hoodie blanket thing, which apparently is only meant to cost like 2 pence a minute to use. Cause that's cheaper for her. She's wearing like thick socks and all that and hoose. And she's on about buying an electric heater and that. I'm like, because it's somehow cheaper or something. But she's like, oh, I'm toughening up to it now. I feel like I'm getting used to the cold. I'm getting used to it. I'm like, fuck me, man.
Aye, it's awful that. Shouldn't have to.
It's fucking...
Just
Sally
because...
Houston can move in with Simon. Fucking hell.
Tell her to get away, yeah? You never put the heat on away, yeah? Sweating that dial off.
And I know how it is. I love England. Obviously, it's me roots, me home. I always will. But it's stuff like this what pisses us off about it.
It's gonna come, yeah, though.
Oh, will I? But like, I just think how they handle things. It just fucking annoys us, like.
But no, it's not how they handle it. They don't give a fuck. It's like they like to do that. It looks like I'm gonna, at the end of next year, I'm gonna go and head first back into a recession anyway, whatever the fuck that means. But I know the last time they had a recession, I lost my fucking job. I ended up working in factories and all that, and there was no work for any cunt. So maybe I've made the wrong decision, guys. 8 years, I had a good innings, like.
Right, now it's come back.
Aye, let's say aye now.
But
Right, we'll see. Because England doesn't look like the fucking place to be. I reckon they're splitting Oxford into 8 district. Fucking like to be.
Anyway, on a more positive note, what do you reckon's better, Home Alone 1 or Home Alone 2?
Hey, smell that mauve.
Home Alone 2.
I reckon so, like. What do you reckon? The first one was a buzz though.
I've always...
No, I reckon 1.
I've always said since I was a kid, Home Alone 2, and my brother would always argue Home Alone 1. It wasn't until last Christmas when watching them both I was actually preferred Home Alone 1.
Aye, I think 1 as well.
But they're both classics, like.
Because I like the bloke that does the grit and that.
You know what I love as well in Home Alone 1 where he runs into the church and the kids are singing that.
Aye, it's good, isn't it? Aye. Aye. Aye,
And old man Morley.
The one that does the grit.
Aye.
Cuts his hand and that. Saves the day, him.
Aye, he's class.
Spoiler alert there for all you guys that haven't seen it. Who hasn't seen it though?
What's your favourite Christmas film, guys? This might be the last show for Christmas, is it?
No, we'll bring another one out for
Should I?
midweek, because we'll be on a double Kush Christmas buzz
Right.
anyway. So
Right, okay.
I was thinking, no, I didn't mind doing one on
We'll
Wednesday.
record it on the Wednesday rather than doing the nerd. We'll just
Aye.
because Wednesday is when he's for doing the nerds now, you know.
Aye, now we've got a designated night, man. Proper pair side
It's
cunts, you
a
know.
2-day-a-week job, this, you know, guys.
I'm a work full time, going to the gym, what have you? There's people there saying in the car, I can't watch these. Like, fuck off then. Eh? Put a bit of effort in, different with Steve.
Aye.
Anyway, did you watch the Brazil's just been put out,
Aye, I saw that.
and
Aye.
also Holland's just been put out. Can we get Argentina in the final if we get past France? Are they on the opposite side of us, aren't they?
Aye, they're on the other side. I
But
think
I would love nothing more. You know what?
it's in Morocco. We play the winner of Morocco and Portugal if we get past France.
Aye. So do you know what I want, right? I know there's these people that they work out the ways off we'll get an easier run. You know what? I didn't want the easier run, me. I want the hardest run possible, me. I want to get Portugal in the next round.
Sorry.
I want to get Portugal in the next round, send them packing, Ronaldo and them. And then in the final I want to get Argentina and put things right from the, what was it, the 1994, the Hand of God. I want to put all that right.
Aye.
And they put us out in the 98 now. Remember when Michael Owen scored and then they put Wood still? I'm keen for the hardest route possible, me.
What do you reckon if we get Argentina in the final?
What do you reckon? That's what I've just been talking about, man. Fuck me. Might as well talk to a rock or a hard place. I reckon we'll send them.
Do you reckon France is our biggest challenge if we get past France? Then
no, I think all three.
aye, see that? Aye,
All three
anyone
of
in
them.
there's got a punch as chance as this year.
They're all the elite, man. I would love to see England beat France. I would love to see them beat Portugal, and I would love to see them beat Argentina in the final. I would love that.
Yeah, what about that young'un who came on for Portugal and scored a hat-trick? And then when they won, Ronaldo just stormed off the pitch. He didn't even celebrate with his classmates.
It's sad what's going on there, you know. It honestly
Why?
is.
I didn't see the game. Did he not get played at all? Was he benched
benched,
for the full game?
No, he was
Didn't
on,
get a
I
game.
think. I don't know. No, he was on.
And then they took him off, put that young lad on who scored 3 goals, put him on in his position.
Maybe.
And he scored a hat-trick and he was filming. But you'd just be happy for the team, wouldn't you?
You know what? Like, Ronaldo's one of the best players ever, arguably the best. But what he's doing at the minute, he's spoiling his reputation. I think like what's happened at Man U. Man U's wanted rid of him, and he was a hero at Man U. And the way that's happened, I just think it's a bit sad. And now because he was doing the exact same thing at Man U. Like if he got benched, he was gone. Yeah, he wouldn't even stay at the end of the game. And then obviously Portugal, they're in the semi-final of the World Cup. And he's not even celebrating.
He's just a bit too big for his boots. I mean, he's a superstar, like, you know what I mean? As leader 9, he's an unbelievable football player and that, but yeah, his attitude seems to be...
he's a superstar in that. But then, he's playing a team sport. There's no superstar in the team, is there?
There's no I in team, guys.
But there's an M and an A, and that's what he thinks.
Yeah, what about the Fury fight now?
But he's away to Saudi Arabia for half a billion. Half a billion for 2 years, Graf. He'll not be worrying about the 15-minute city, will he? He'll just get he'll make his own 15-minute city.
He'll not be worrying about the electricity bill, will he?
That's an idea. If they bring in these 15-minute cities, how about all our fans? We'll all make it A. We'll all chip in, buy a plot, a big A, bit of A, grass. And we'll all live off the fat of the land. Me and Steve put a show on every week.
Live off the fat of the gland.
Aye. We'll shoot a pig. There's wild pigs in Australia. We're going to shoot a pig. 1 pig a week.
Did he see
bacon every day?
It was on the news the other day. One of them pigs went into an esky and done in 20 cans of beer or something. And it started attacking people in that. It was mortal.
Made a pig out of itself, did it?
Aye. But I worried about the Fury fight. I didn't actually see it, me. I slept in and missed it.
Right, your Mystic Mac over here.
Aye, round 10.
He guessed it.
Round 10 stoppage, I said.
Aye.
But apparently got punched all out, didn't he?
Dilliamite, aye.
Chisora, you mean.
Chisora, aye. Well, and Dilliamite and all the pair of them did, didn't it? There's no one getting close to him at the minute.
But I've seen one little clip where they both fell over. They fumbled over and
I dragged them over. Chisora dragged them over. Well, I watch it through the week,
I'll try and get it. I've been looking for it, but it's not on there yet. But he looked proper beat up, like his eyes. You couldn't even look at his eyes hardly. But it was nice. I saw a video where afterwards, Fury went into Del Boy's dressing room and had a burger together and had a bit crack on. Did you watch it?
Five Guy. Aye.
It was nice, wasn't it?
Aye, it was. Aye.
But he's saying he's going to fight the Usyk in the March.
I don't think. Look at the fight Chisora had with Usyk.
Mm-hmm.
And then you reckon Usyk's gonna do anything with Fury?
I know. We thought that
he's too big,
Chisora,
man. That's all it is. He's too big. He's got.
Aye.
What did he have? A 12-inch reach advantage.
12-inch Corey.
Did he? Aye.
Fucking
hell. Some Corey made.
Aye.
Wish I had 12-inch. Wish I had 2. What do you reckon?
But I agree. I don't think anyone beats Fury unless, like he says, he keeps boxing until he's in his 60s or something.
He says what he wants to do is ruin his
reputation.
He wants to ruin his
legacy.
Legacy, aye. That was the word I was searching deep inside my head for. He wants to keep fighting until bums are knocking him out, he says, because he's got nothing else but boxing. You know what it is? He could retire at the top, never beat nothing, and then take on a protege.
Aye. Like Rocky.
Put on his and then maybe do his thingy fights that they like doing these days.
I did a few exhibitions. He's fighting Jake Paul next. Imagine.
It's not quiet, hasn't it?
Jake Paul and Tommy Fury.
Are they fighting or not?
I don't know. I've lost interest for that, to be honest. Like.
Now, what would be funny if Jake Paul knocked him out?
I would be, wouldn't it?
Was that you farting on the show? You just fart on the show?
That'll do me. Yeah, remember to share the show and you get one of these sent in the post.
Aye, there's one sailing through the Oz post as we speak. Got about 10 of them out on a main fleet.
Actually, before I forget, shout out to Dagenham Dave in the house. Dagenham Dave and Dan. Your cup's still there waiting for you. Come and collect it.
Is it I?
Aye.
Get it, Sandy, will you? So you've seen the Ukrainian president Zelensky. He's been given Times Magazine Man of the Year, and that's all I've got to say about that.
Why has he been given that?
Well, I don't know, but it's something not right there, is there? It seems to me like they're pushing an agenda. Anyway.
Propaganda to make him look like the good guy.
Aye, propaganda. What else? We've got the UFC this weekend, right? Robbie Lawler's fight's been cancelled. That's a shame.
Has it?
I can't believe he's still gone, me. He's an absolute machine. And then there was the Prochaska and Texera fight that got cancelled as well. But did you see the other one?
I don't know.
They're like light heavy. Are they light heavyweights? Aye. Did you see the first one they had? It was for the belt. What a fight! We'll have to watch that through the week. It was unreal, you know. It was just an absolute onslaught. And then we've got one of these Dagestan blokes. He's fighting Jan Blachowicz, one of Khabib's mates. So that's going to be a good one. He's 18-1. He's a machine, him.
Khabib's prodigies are lethal, aren't they?
Aye, the unreal. But he's fighting, and we've got Paddy Pimblett as well fighting as well in the co-main.
Class.
So do you reckon he's going to get found out soon or what?
Paddy Pimblett?
Do you reckon he's... I'm not that confident.
I reckon he's the real deal. I don't know, we'll see.
But Meatball Molly got found out, didn't you?
Aye. Meatball Molly.
Aye, but I don't know. I think he's great, mate, Paddy Pimblett. I think he's great, but he's just one of these fighters I'm never that confident about, but he seems to prove us wrong every time.
Aye.
But another one of them fighters I'm never confident about was Tai Tuivasa, and he's been beat, 3 times off the trot now?
Is it 3?
2
I
or
thought
3.
It was 2. Maybe I missed one.
But
God, he got destroyed last weekend.
Within 30 seconds?
Me.
But he was a machine, wasn't he? Who gave him a good hiding there.
God, he was a beast, wasn't he?
What I think
love Tuivasa though.
What I think with his fights, right?
FTA.
What I think with his fights is just whoever hits whoever first is gonna win.
I know.
Because if Ty catches you with one of them,
if he caught him, he'd have dropped him. Aye. That's the thing with heavyweights and that, isn't it? It's just like takes one shot to totally change the fight, doesn't it? Or end the fight.
Aye. But you meant to see John Jones in amongst them, like. And then also we'll have Darren Till fighting as well.
This weekend as
and
well.
And there's Morono as well, who's also mint. But Darren Till, I'll be excited to see how he comes out. Like, I like Darren Till.
He lost the last couple, didn't he?
He lost a couple and he's never fought for ages. But he's knocking about with like Chimaev, isn't he? So I don't know if he's fought since. I might be completely wrong, like, but I like Darren Till. And what else we got? Roy Keane went home from the World Cup.
Why?
He said all the other pundits were getting on his nerves. He's a right miserable bastard, isn't he? You seen this? He says he labelled the Senegal fans. You know how mint they were?
Remember? Class,
aye, they're just like
banging drums and dressed
up
like lions. That was
for me.
Class.
Like ever since I was a young kid, I've loved watching the African teams, like all the teams from around the world, especially them, and having like a carnival in the stands, and it just looks mint.
And them vuvuzela things.
Aye. He's labelled them as annoying for singing and creating a wonderful atmosphere against England. Annoying. It's just what the World Cup's about, man. Just not because everyone's miserable like you.
Hey, what a miserable bastard.
And Gary Neville was on about it, but not everyone's cup of tea is wanking dogs, but that Roy Keane likes saying that, but you can see everyone twisting on at him. Anyway, that was just a couple of tidbits. Actually, do you know that Netflix programme that's been labelled as the most dangerous thing on television?
Ancient civilization things.
The one about the Mayans and that at some point, aren't they? Like how the Mayans were, they found pools and pools of mercury underneath the temples and shitloads of gold. And apparently they've just found out that you can make gold from mercury.
Honestly?
By shooting electric through it. So that's why they're saying maybe it's the Mayans, that's why they had so much gold, because they'd worked out a way to make mercury. Aye.
So you're not...
But how can they label that the most dangerous thing on the television just because he's offering another happenstance?
So what he's trying to say about on Ancient Apocalypse is that there's been like advanced human civilizations before, not quite as advanced as us, but more advanced than what we think and what we give them credit for in that. And that there's been like apocalypse, what they call extinction level events, a few times throughout history where it's ended the human race kind of thing. And that's why they've built all these temples, underground temples, because they kind of used to see like things falling from the sky and that, so they built all these pyramids and mad stuff to kind of protect themselves and all that. And like you say, like they somehow had electricity to make gold and friggin'...
You found batteries in the pyramid, you know?
Aye. There's loads of mad stuff, but all the archaeologists and scientists are kind of like not giving them any credit, and they won't acknowledge it or consider it, even though there's new evidence that suggests that the human race is a lot older than what we think it is.
And it's purely because you've got these boffin scientists who have committed their whole life to this work that they've done, and they're just proved wrong, and they're not willing to take that on board.
I think it's an agenda, mate.
Alright, it's Agenda 2030. But yeah, that's a story for another day.
Well, there's some food for thought for you guys. We'll leave it there, eh?
Aye, right.
Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share. Tell your ma.
Aye, didn't forget to tell your mate about the programme.
Alright, thanks for watching, guys.
Aye, thanks very much.
One more show and then we're done.
We'll do your
for the
Christmas
year.
special, eh? Watch out for the Christmas special.